Welcome to class. Grab your book and pen and get ready to learn.
Welcome to class. Let us learn how to write in standard form. Standard form is simply an easy way of representing very large or very small numbers. For example, if I have a number as big as 49 million, that means I will have to write 49 with 6 zeros behind it. Look at this, but representing it in standard form is just going to give me 4.9 times 10 raised to the power 7. Isn't that wonderful? Relax, don't worry. I'm going to teach you how I got that done. What about if I have a number as small as 0.000017? Look at that. To write it in standard form will simply give me 1.7 times 10 raised to the power
Minus 5.
1.7 times 10 raised to the power minus 5. And that is simpler and easier to manage. I hope you agree with me. So let's go. Let me teach you how I got that done. It's actually not a magic. I will quickly like you to remember our number line. Remember that the number line has both the positive axis and the negative axis. Towards the right, we have the positive, and towards your left, you have the negative. So, we are going to be making use of this by the time we are writing both whole numbers and decimals in standard form. As you move your decimal point towards the positive axis, your powers are going to be in negative. This is what I mean. Negative powers. And when you move your decimal point towards the negative axis, have it in your head that the powers you are going to have are going to be positive powers. Once that is settled in your mind, then you are good to go. Let us use these examples to drive home the lesson. This is 49 billion. Remember that all numbers have their decimal points visible or not visible. When you are dealing with whole numbers like this 49 million, the decimal point is always at the back of the units, the ones. So this is a whole number. The decimal point is at the back of the last digit, which is the units. So the decimal point is actually here. To write your number in standard form, you have to move the decimal point from the back of the last digit or wherever you find it in the number to the back of the first non-zero digit. So let us move. In this case, I move from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have been able to move my decimal point from here to here so that I can write my 49 million in standard form as 4.9 times 10 raised to the power, the number of times you moved the decimal point. And because I moved towards the negative axis, my power is going to be in positive, that is 7, positive 7. So 49 million is equal to 4.9 times 10 raised to the power 7. Let us say I have another number like 35,368. 35,368. And I want to write this number in standard form. This is also a whole number. So the decimal point is at the back of the unit, which is the ones. It It is here. So to write in standard form, I will have to move the decimal point from the back of the unit to the back of the first number that is not 0 in that series. So let's move it. That is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Giving me 3.5368 times 10 raised to power. We moved the decimal point 4 times and towards the negative. So our power is going to be positive 4. Let us look at examples among decimal fractions. I have 0.000017 and I want to write that in standard form. All I have to do is to move this decimal point from where it is situated here and to the back of the first digit here that is not 0. So let's move. We move once, twice, thrice, 4 times, and 5 times over here. So that I have 1.7 times 10 raised to power. Remember, we moved 5 times and towards the positive. So our power is going to be negative. That is minus 5. Let us see this second example. This is a mixture of whole numbers and decimal fraction. How do we write this in standard form? Just like we have dealt with whole numbers, we have to move this decimal point from the back of this unit to the back of the first digit here. So we move towards the left once, twice, thrice. Now that we have moved towards the left 3 times, we can say that we have 3.56789 times 10 raised to power. We move towards the left, towards the negative. So our power is going to be positive 3. What about when the fractions are not in decimals? When the fractions are in the form of numerator over denominator, like I have here 1/2. That means the fraction is a rational number. In this case, all we have to do is to convert to decimals. You convert the fraction to decimal, like I have here. 1/2 is 0.5. 0.5 is in decimal, but it is not yet in standard form. So write it in standard form. We move the decimal from the front of 5 to the back of 5. We move it to the back of 5. That is towards the right. Then I write it as 5 what do you think is at the back of 5? Zeros. So I have 5.0 times 10 raised to power. I moved it towards the right once, and that is minus 1. 5.0 times 10 raised to power minus 1. There are some cases where we have rational numbers in form of numerator over denominator, like I have here 9/60. Yes, this is rational because the denominator is not negative. But in this case, there is a common factor between 9 and 60, and that common factor is 3. So I will have to reduce this to the lowest step. So 9 divided by 3 is 3. 60 divided by 3 is 20. So I have 3/20. 3/20 now is very simple. It's rational and at its lowest form. So to convert this now to standard form, I will have to convert it first of all into fractions, into decimal fraction. So let's go. 3 divided by 20 is 0. Then we put an invisible 0 behind that thing. 30 divided by 20, we have 1, and it will remain 10. 30 will remain 10. Put another invisible zero behind that 10 so that you have 100. 100 divided by 20 is 5. That is 3/20 is 0.15. It is this 0.15 now that we will write in standard form, which will give us, moving this decimal point from here towards the right to the back of 1, so that we have 1.5 times 10 raised to power, you move it towards the right, what? That is 10 raised to power minus 1. And that is simply about writing in standard form. Yes, there are cases where numbers are written in standard form and you will have to work backwards, as in reversing it to the regular form. Let's see those. These are numbers in standard form and it is requested of us to write them in regular forms. You just have to know the way this is achieved, because we know that the power of 3, positive 3, is gotten by moving the decimal point towards the left 3 times. So to get the regular form of this number, we will just have to do the opposite. That is moving the decimal point towards the right 3 times now. So let us do it. That is 1.76. We have to move the decimal point from there towards the right now, the opposite, 3 times. So let's see. 1, 2, 3. Now the decimal point is at the back of the unit. There is no number here, but there is a number there. So replace that with 0. That means 1.76 times 10 raised to power 6 is actually 1,760. 1,760. The second one, we have 2.198 times 10 raised to power minus 5. Here we know that the negative power is gotten when we moved the decimal point towards our right while trying to write in standard form. So now we just have to do the opposite, moving the decimal point towards the left. So let's go. We have 2.198. So we have to move the decimal point towards the left 5 times. Let's see. Moving from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The empty spaces are going to be occupied with zeros. 0, 0, 0, 0. And to precede the decimal point, we are going to have 0 as well. That means we have 0.000298. And that is the decimal fraction that generated 2.198 times 10 raised to power minus 5 in standard form. Before I let you go, attempt this. I'll be waiting for you in the comment section to mark you right or wrong.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel for more interesting lessons.